I love the serum.
I don't think you like permed hair, do you? Yeah.
So you have to ask the right questions.
Lemon juice is the worst.
I didn't.
It's just flawless.
Hello, I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan. I'm a doctor but also a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of colour. So today is a really important video. I have the beautiful Amma with me today from Amma's hair salon. She's been doing Afro hair for 30 years. Right, so we have lots of questions, and the first question is, Amma, what can you do to prevent drying of hair?
Okay, so nowadays I've changed what I tell clients, that drink lots of water to start with. And to moisturize, you need good moisturizer. Like what you have introduced is the best product right now. Like we used it on hair and it just glides in through the hair, the leave-in conditioner especially.
Amazing.
So yeah.
I'm so glad.
That's good. But moisturizer is the one. So before you wash the hair, you moisturize it and detangle it before you wash the hair. Maybe a night before.
So the next question we had is, how often should you wash Afro hair?
In my world, I've learned that Afro hair is dry. It looks dry.
Okay.
But we are always afraid to wash our hair. So it's okay to wash your hair as often as you want, if you need to, but use a good shampoo and conditioner. So I would say twice in, maybe I do natural hair and I do twice in a month. Okay. It's fine. Yeah. You know, some people wash once a week. Yeah. That's fine. It all depends on where you go with the grease that the moisturizer or whatever you put in the hair.
So what's the safest way to apply heat to Afro hair without excessive damage?
So the safest is to use heat protectors. Yeah. So if you blow drying hair, it should be moist. Don't blow dry hair when it's dry. Yeah. You know, moisturize it by applying the right products and just wait and detangle it slowly. And the heat, we all think that we need to really get closer to, with the hairdryer to the hair. Yeah. You need to leave a bit of gap and then let the hair flow. It's all about the air that's coming from the hairdryer as well as, you know. Yeah. So don't put too much heat, just lightly section the hair and then do it without excessive heat.
Okay, fine. Yeah. But minimum amount and not so close.
Not so close, yeah.
Okay. So the next question was about permed hair. What 3 healthy tips can you give to maintain permed hair?
Okay.
I don't think you like permed hair, do you? Yeah. So let's talk about that, because I think this is very topical right now.
I've grown to not like perms, but we would do it in our salon because people want it. Yeah. Everyone's state of mind is different. Yeah. I've learned that perms don't agree with me, so I learned to talk to people about stopping it. Yeah. But people who are not ready to stop, by all means do. Yeah. But the safest is not to leave your hair so greasy prior to relaxer. Yeah. Because some people think leaving your hair greasy or maybe dirty before you go a perm is safer, but it's not. The hair needs to be free of all build-up, like gels and all that. So if you come to me for a relaxer and you've got gel in your hair, I'm not going to relax your hair because it will not help the hair to process. The relaxer won't take on the hair. So, and then after you relax, you need to do the process of neutralizing, doing a reconstructive treatment, and then we usually will rush relaxer, but you need to slow down, make sure you do it section by section. You break the hair if you don't take care. So.
Have you got any final tips for our followers with Afro hair?
All we need is moisture. So just moisturize, and just be gentle with Afro hair. Don't look at Afro hair and think it's dry. Sometimes it's not so dry, so just keep it minimal, but moisturize your hair.
Thank you so much for joining us. That's so helpful. So we are now going to move on to Amma's son, Silas, who is also incredibly knowledgeable, and I cannot wait to ask him a lot of these questions. Not answer, he's going to do the answering. So today we have an amazing event specifically for Afro hair, and I thought I'd sit down with Silas and Amma and go through 3 decades worth of experience with Afro hair and the tips and golden nuggets that they can share with us. So I've got a list of questions from you from our Instagram account. Do make sure you're following that account as well. We launched this video, we are in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every single video. So when you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so you can come and ask us your questions. Okay, so without further ado, Silas, our first question was, how do we minimize dry hair or prevent dry hair?
I think the key is to start with the right products and the right technique in order to penetrate the scalp and help the hair as well. So a lot of people tend to buy like the cheapest thing they find in the shop. Don't do research on things like fragrance, the ingredients of the product as well. So you need to make sure the product says the keywords like moisturizing. If it says it, check that the ingredients mean it as well. Also, just the technique in which you instill it into the hair have to be correct as well. So starting with like a good detangling method, because you don't want to cause an issue before you clean the hair and deal with it properly. So just the right techniques, but key is like the right ingredients. So you have to have a shampoo that's actually clean. So we found recently that a lot of people come and they have it in their mind that they can't use sulfates or parabens and things like that, but historically that's been in shampoos and people have had good hair.
Let's talk about sulfates quickly. So sulfates, where they get confused, there are different types of sulfates. Sulfates clean, but if you use a sulfate that's too harsh, you can strip oils away. But if you use a sulfate that's gentle, that will clean and will allow other ingredients to penetrate into the hair shaft. So often we demonize a whole category because of one subtype, which isn't ideal. So that's important to know. And also parabens, talking about parabens. Parabens are the safest form of preservative. And again, those were demonized as well. And the reason it was demonized is, for example, if you relax the hair and you've broken the skin on the scalp and then you have harsh chemicals going straight into the bloodstream, that's not how we test for safety of an ingredient. We test for it based on if you have a healthy skin barrier and you put the ingredient onto the skin. So from that perspective, parabens are the safest form of preservative. But I think recently there's a lot of things happening with relaxing, which we'll go into shortly. But yeah, again, parabens have been demonized, but then we moved on to other preservatives which can lead to irritation of the skin. So we need to be careful with skin of color, because if we irritate, we get hyperpigmentation, which we want to avoid. Sorry.
So no, that's fine. I mean, and so when you talk about moisturizing, it starts at the detangling stage, the washing stage, the leave-in conditioner stage. So like, as with dark skin or skin of color, you tend to need some moisture in it as well. So following the steps, having a good routine and picking the right product, so we can, I guess, go through the products. Like in your product. We've got our favorite ones as well, and we kind of do like consultations with each customer just to see which product we think is suited to the scalp. There's not a blanket product until now.
So Silas has been using the Dr. B range for the last week, so I'm really excited to hear his thoughts on it. But before we go into that, I know detangling is a really difficult issue, especially with children. It'd be really good to get your take on how to detangle in the most gentle way that's going to minimize breakage and also maybe hydrate the scalp and hair during the process.
So as a salon, like when customers come to wash their hair or do a treatment which involves washing their hair, we don't straight away take them to the wash basin, because it causes us an issue sometimes where the hair gets tangled. If your hair's come out of braids or a protective style, you tend to need detangling so that you can then wash properly without causing a tangle, which then leads to breakage, because you have to detangle excessively because you didn't detangle before. We use a good conditioner, I won't say the best conditioner, but a good conditioner to make sure we detangle at the chair, take them to the sink, and then depending on the type of hair they have, we've got different shampoos and conditioners. So like your shampoo, for instance, has the right ingredients. So like, whereas like a lot of us tend to have like skincare routines, and our receptionist really likes your product. So when you first came in, I saw that it had niacinamide, salicylic acid, all the good stuff, proteins, humectants and stuff. I was like, okay, this person's done the research, and it's kind of refreshing to see a product that's, because it starts with skin is in your hair, in your scalp. So if you have a bad scalp, you tend to have like a problem with your hair. So if you deal with the base surface layer, then you find that your hair grows healthily and in the right way.
Have you seen like an inflamed scalp and then the hair quite brittle and breaking easily? Have you seen that? Because I know that from a textbook perspective, I know that from a medical perspective, but I haven't seen it, you know, sitting in the chair. What's your take from your experience of it?
So we think that some protective styles can be a bit like cause an issue with. It's not a protective style if it's too tight for you. So if it's too tight in the salon and you're having to take a paracetamol when you go home, it's not a protective style, and that can lead to an inflamed scalp. Right. So then if you then keep that style in for like 5 to 6 weeks, what do you expect when you come into a salon to do a treatment? Your hair won't be in a healthy state. So we tend to do like the ones that I feel like have really good hair, and scalps have like protective styles which are quite gentle to their scalp. So like 2-strand twists. If you do braids, don't get it done to the point where it's like you're keeping it in for 8 weeks because you're telling the stylist to do it really tight. So that's all gonna come back to bite you in the long run. So like from your edges, black people love to talk about edges.
Yes,
so like,
let's talk about edges. I've been asked about edges a lot and which products to use for edges and.
Yeah, so like when it comes to edges, people will like pick the smallest bit of edge to do a cornrow and then wonder how the edge is gone missing when they take the hair out. So just protecting yourself at the styling stage in the end will save you money if you don't have to go to a trichologist. Because some people they know the issue that they've caused to the hair by the styling that they've done. So like wigs, excessive gluing. Of the wig.
What's your take on that? How much are you seeing that? Are you seeing hyperpigmentation from the gluing and the edges?
If you have a wig on that's glued to your scalp for 4 weeks and your hair isn't seeing daylight or your skin isn't getting to breathe. It's sometimes like baffling when people are like, I don't know what's happening, when they've basically told you what the problem is, and you just have to try and reverse what they're thinking is, because some of them like they've caused an issue with the wig. Rather than stop wearing the wig, they'll continue to wear it, and then the problem gets bad. So it's sometimes hard for us as hairdressers to retrain their mind, because they're now in the cycle of having to wear a wig because they're so paranoid about their edges and stuff. So you have to just give it a break. If you find that a protective style or a wig wearing or braid wearing is causing you an issue, just divert, because the deeper you go, the more it's going to be hard to get back.
So that makes total sense. Are people actually breaking out around the edges as well? Because if you're wearing a wig and it's glued down, you're clogging the pores as well?
We don't necessarily breakouts, but you find that's where you see like redness and sometimes it's tender. So like if you take off your wig or your protective cornrows and you go to the sink, sometimes you can just see how inflamed it is there. So there's some people that, regardless of what you tell them, they need to put that wig back on.
So at that point, it's a damaged skin barrier. At that point, they need quite thick emollients to try and repair that surface, because otherwise it's very sensitive, you know, once you do that. And if you put vitamin A or retinol or anything on the skin at that point, it's going to burn the skin, or any acids actually at that point. How often should you wash Afro hair? That's the other question you guys asked.
So like my mum said, it differs person to person. So like sebum can build up on the scalp. Some people have like really oily scalps. They tend to wash more, depending on what protective style you do as well. You can wash more, but generally, I feel like the people that have the best conditioned scalps and best conditioned hair, they tend to do a wash, I'd say every 3 to 4 weeks.
Right.
But the key is, I feel like the styling options, because we just see loads of like really tight or really excessive use of like glues, gels. So it's a bit like if you put lots of gel in your hair, that's gonna build up on your scalp, so you probably tend to wash it more. So I think 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay. So you want to minimize gels on the scalp, minimize product that you're using on the actual hair itself. Does that lead to itchiness as well?
It can do. A lot of people like have, like especially like you see some people patting their weave or patting their hair because like the like so for instance, sometimes people braid hair with gel, then once it's finished, just put oil in the scalp, then spray a sheen, and then the person then goes home and then starts oiling their scalp as well. All of that is building up layers and layers of of grease and oil and gunk. So when you then take out your hair, you maybe need like 2 or 3 shampoos in order to get the hair to even foam up a bit. So it's just only oiling when you need to, if you need to, and then just listening to your body really. So what works for someone else may not necessarily work for you. So just finding your own routine and doing what feels right to your hair. So if your hair is really itchy, rather than just pat it and then keep going, find the product that's causing an itch or the styling that's causing an itch. And
tell me about DIY. So everyone on my channel knows how I feel about DIY. There are some things I don't mind using, like, you know, but vast majority for me, I'm looking at the pH of the product versus the pH of your scalp, and I don't want you to inflame the scalp, of course. But what do you see in the hair salon? Like,
I feel like people think, because superfoods are maybe good for your insides, people tend to waste, I guess,
what have we seen?
I've seen egg, mayonnaise, avocado, okra, sugar, honey. Some people a lemon juice.
Lemon juice is the worst, guys. Do not do lemon juice. It's pH of 2.
Just really like sticky, strippy, acidic ingredients. Just because somebody,
must be so
but maybe they saw it on TikTok or saw it on YouTube and it worked for someone. So it may look good. Obviously, the product, some of these products are really like they claim to be natural. So people think like, okay, I can make that with something in my kitchen. So, but the kitchen's probably missing some key ingredients and key elements. So
I feel that there's less DIY happening, because when I started on YouTube a couple of years ago, the whole of skincare on YouTube was DIY. We weren't really talking about ingredients, we weren't talking about percentages, but now there are a lot of doctors on social media. Do you feel that this has trickled through into your clientele using less DIY, or is it like the same?
From our point of view, like we try and instill knowledge into our customers, but so some customers probably can't be bothered to wash their big Afro hair all the time. However, DIY methods, I feel like just basically leave it to the professionals or use a professional product which has all the good stuff in. So you know, back in the day there was like St. Ives scrub, so people used to scrub their skin, but now we know that they're chemical exfoliants that can do a better job.
Look at you! This one's got beautiful skin.
So just, I guess, like if you got a product that can do it for your scalp, it's a no-brainer, because if it works for your skin, it works for your scalp.
So we do talk a lot about relaxing and perming, and so the question really is, what alternative hairstyles can we do to perming? So
I feel like perming is the last resort if your hair is unmanageable, and a lot of people tend to want hair that you can run a comb through easily or wash easily. So now there Avalon, which is, I'm not plugging someone else's brand, but there's a product called Texture Release, which is an amino acid-based, I guess, manageability system. So you apply it seemingly like a relaxer, but it's generally heat activated, and what it does is once the hair is pressed, it will sort of loosen the curl a little bit. It won't be as like straight as a relaxer, but it will give you maybe 6 months. So each month you wash your hair, or like depending on what products you use, your hair gets coarser and coarser back to its original state. So it's not as permanent as a relaxer, but it gives you a bit of freedom, because I feel like a lot of people can't take like a whole Sunday of a wash day to wash their hair. So that's an option. We've got a keratin blow dries. We have silk press. So our most popular service here is a silk press, which gives you a bit of that sort of relaxed look. So people be like, is your hair relaxed? Because it looks like it's relaxed from your scalp, but as humidity touches your hair and it just starts reverting. So it'll probably start at the root or frizz up around you, but it will give you that sort of perm look for that occasion. You don't need to go down, because you know perming isn't really an easy way out, because you still then have to retouch the roots. So that's also another cycle. So you might as well like either to go down the route of natural hair maintenance, or if you go chemical, you also still need to keep up with it, because even if you do relax your hair and you don't keep up with the roots, that could cause breakage as well, and then you're in even more of a crisis.
The question is does perming lead to more brittle hair?
Not necessarily. The right perming product, because we have customers that have relaxed hair that you think like the hair is really thick still as well. So the right products and the right timing of when to come and do your chemical process for the root is all key, and also like how you style your hair, because I feel like when hair is relaxed, it's more prone to breakage. The way you wash it, the way you detangle it, it's more durable when in its natural state. So if you were to break down the bonds and then treat it like rough when you detangle, you're more inclined to snap the hair strands and stuff like that. So, but we are seeing an increase in texture release, but the most popular thing now is silk press, because people don't want to go down. People come in and they ask for a relaxer, and then everybody else is like, what? Like, you're still relaxing your hair? And back in the day, it wasn't like that. It was like relaxer, relaxer, relaxer.
So it's kind of old-fashioned now.
Yeah. So like nowadays it's like one relaxer a week or two a week, where before it was like almost every single day.
Wow.
So
I love that though. That's so good, especially for womb health as well.
Yeah, and all those, if you like constantly putting chemicals into your pores.
Yeah. The bloodstream, that's what we're most worried about.
So like, I feel like the ultimate, my mum's allergic to curly perm.
Yes.
And the way it causes her to have a reaction, it can't be good for your skin and your body.
No, absolutely. So the next question was, and the last question is, what's the safest way to apply heat to Afro hair without excessive damage?
So as I was saying, silk press is our most popular service. We tend to get people that are petrified. They really want to try having a relaxed look, but they're like, I don't want to compromise my curl. So one of our heat protectors has hyaluronic acid in it as well, but we use heat protectors throughout. So from the treatment, we wouldn't just straighten someone's hair as they walk in. We need to make sure we do a treatment, deep treatment to protect. Once we rinse them out, we use a good leave-in conditioner, good heat protectors, multiple ones. So we've got one for that helps with reverting, another one at the blow dry stage, another one at the straightening stage. So throughout, your hair is protected. So it's just a techniques, going through section by section, making sure all the hair is protected, rather than like spray one hair and think that side's protected, and going to, I think, a professional as well. Yeah. Because a lot of people do like home remedies or relax their hair at home and come and style it here, and then we can sort of still smell that it's still processing. So there's a shampoo that if we wash your hair and it turns pink, it means your hair still has relaxer in it. 9 times out of 10, if someone relaxes their hair and comes in for styling, we was like, can we wash your hair? And then if we don't wash their hair, they'll probably say that it's us that caused them the issue. So I feel like leaving it to professionals when it comes to chemical styling is important, because a lot of people like bleach their hair at home as well. I didn't, but then it doesn't get even, and also it maybe causes them breakage and stuff. So have a home routine, but also have a professional salon experience as and when you need to. So 8 weeks isn't a long time, but like getting into and trims as well. Like I feel like a lot of people with Afro hair want to retain length, so they say I don't want to trim my hair, but the dead ends need to go, and your hair needs to focus on growing from the root. So get rid of the dead ends with a good trim every maximum of like 3 months, or less than that if you've got lots of split ends, and just get
makes
into
it look healthy and heavy at the bottom, otherwise it can look a bit strange.
Nobody wants big thick hair that has loads of split ends, so like get rid of the dead ends.
That's so true. My last question to you is, so you've been using the Dr. V hair range for a week now, which of the products do you like? Which one's your favourite, would you say? I
like all of them, but the conditioners and the oil is our favorite, my favorite, and I know that everyone else is like, where's the oil? So like the oil is not heavy, it feels nice on your hand, feels good on the hair, and the products don't have any fragrance in it. Anything that's there is like naturally occurring, so like you get heavy like that sort of shampoo-y, like cheap shampoo sort of smell. So the conditioner as well is really thick, so you can tell it's got like lots of good fats in it and proteins. You just feel the quality in it. So like if people come and they're like, I'm not gonna say there's a brand that lots of people use on Afro hair that I don't feel is good for the hair, but people I feel like if you invest in your hair care range, it will pay you back in spades by having good hair. So like, we use the right products, and it's an investment as well, because if you go down the route of using the wrong product, it'll come back to bite you. Then you spend more money trying to get your hair back as well. So just finding the right product for you and using it wisely will help you in the long run.
How do people feel about not having fragrance in my products? Because that's the number one thing. Even my brother said to me, he was like, Vanita, you know, the first thing we do is we look at smell of shampoo to smell, you know, how does it smell like? And yours doesn't have any smell. So how did your customers take that? Because like I wouldn't know what they would say.
No one really like complained. I feel like those in the know always know that essential oils aren't necessarily something to slap on your skin and your hair. So like, no one really, if they notice an overpowering smell from another shampoo, it's always like, what's that smell? But you don't necessarily need mango smell or pineapple smell. You just need the shampoo to be good. And the key thing in yours is that the products are good, so that it should be like more, oh, this feels good, feels nice. A lot of people say your product feels nice, and when we feel it, we're like, okay, this is a different.
Oh, I'm so glad that you don't understand what that means for me, actually. So thank you.
It's been like created with like knowledge and stuff. So, and the fact that you use it, you know, when you go somewhere and then the person doesn't use it on the product, you're like, you used it on you today, and maybe we'll like it. So.
Oh, good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We're doing a whole event here today. We're going to do lots of different hairstyles, and we're going to showcase it as well, so you can see the befores and afters, what it's like using the Dr. V hair range. But thank you so much for giving me your time, and I'm so excited for today.
Yes, it's going to be good.
So today we've got Lois with us, who has been using the Dr. Vanita Rattan range, the hair range on her clients, and I really wanted to get some information as to what people thought about it, what she thought about it, what her favourite products were. So without further ado, please let me know what you thought, and be really brutally honest. Even if you don't like something, just say it.
First of all, I love the serum. It's my favourite one because it just makes the hair shine a lot, and also it doesn't make it too heavy. Sometimes when we're doing silk press, especially on fine hair, we don't want to use serums that are too heavy on the hair, especially because they want volume. And also my other favourite was the leave-in conditioner as well. It just works perfectly with the serum. My least favourite was the shampoo. Yeah. I tried it so many times, but I just feel like it doesn't lather up as much. No. So I had to use clarifying shampoo beforehand, and afterwards then I enjoyed the shampoo a bit more. But definitely I think it's one of the products where I think it's better to use a clarifying shampoo and then go with that shampoo afterwards, just because with Afro hair and with doing braids and using gel and using a lot of oils, it just doesn't work as well. Agreed. So you need something that's a bit stronger. I
totally agree. So I would actually recommend the same thing. If you are going in with your first shampoo, actually our hair thickening shampoo is not the best shampoo for that. You do actually want something with sharper surfactants. So you want to cut through everything that's on the scalp, all the products that have been used in the past. And then this is one you want to use once the scalp is actually quite clean, because you want the salicylic acid, niacinamide, vitamin A, humectants to penetrate into the scalp itself. But the reason it's not lathering is actually because the pH of the shampoo, because the salicylic acid has got a lower pH than usual shampoos do, so you don't get that lathering feeling. But we were talking today, and I feel like maybe we need to add a clarifying shampoo to the range.
Yeah, it would be amazing, because then you can just use both at once, and also like one for like obviously a salon use, and then the other one that can be used at home for like an everyday situation. So
can you guys write down below if you want me to make a clarifying shampoo for you to use once a month, and it could just be for spa use only or at home once a month. If you want me to write it down below. And if you say no, Dr. V, don't make it, I won't make it. So it's fine. I won't be offended either. Any other products you think I should make for the range?
It's not talked about a lot, but I was thinking as well, like a hairspray or like something that works on fine hair, because sometimes when we do silk presses on finer hair, it's difficult to create that volume. And I don't want to use hairspray that has alcohol in it, because it makes the hair dry, and you can actually smell it while you're using it. Yeah. So I thought it would be a great idea to have something that works on silk presses and on Afro hair in general, to create that volume and still keep the silk in it.
Yeah. So what I find with shampoos right now is, because of denatured alcohol, it does dry, like you said, the hair and the scalp, and it leads to brittle hair, which is not what we want. We want humectants, we want to hydrate. So I think potentially a product that we could maybe create something with amino acids in it, in order to almost bulk up the hair strand from inside. We're already doing that with the shampoo and the leave-in conditioner, but it could be an additional product that comes as a spray. So that right now doesn't exist, where you have a product which gives you fixed to the hair, but also hydrates and is healthy for the hair. So that is actually something that we could look into making. So the next question is, what was your feedback from clients?
Yeah, so a lot of my clients that I've used on loved it. Especially, like I said, the main thing is the shine. It just, there's something about it that it makes it so nice and shiny, but it doesn't make it heavy. It's just a really nice balance. And also the leave-in conditioner, the conditioner, the treatment, which we use, the conditioner which we use as a treatment is really good as well. Just because I've realized on some clients that have frizzy hair or like curly but frizzy, it tames it down quite a lot without having to use mousse or any other products in it. So I think it's really good for wash and goes and amazing for silk presses.
So what I would say is the reason why it's good actually is because when you have damaged hair, your disulfide bonds break, and so then you have S charge, so S negative charge. So what you want to do is actually create a product with a positive charge, which neutralizes that static, which is actually what we did with the leave-in conditioner, which is why you're noticing frizzy hair feeling more tame, and flyaways as well should feel more tame as well.
Can I say something on top of that? Because I'm a hair colorist and that's what I specialize in. I've realized, which is really crazy, on my usual clients where I do bleach and highlight, all the like damaged parts almost just stick down. Usually when I straighten it, and no matter how many times I have to go over it, it does not stay down. But when I've been using the product, it's just flawless.
Really?
It actually is, and I'm like, Silas, come and look at this. Like, why is staying down? Like, it's amazing. So then, like, I can get better pictures and stuff and post them without having feeling like, oh, the hair is super damaged. It's not, because it's nice and straight. Oh, wow. It's amazing.
That's exactly what I was wanted to create. So I'm so happy that's actually happening in real life.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you so much everyone for watching, and we will be in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every single video, as you know, and so can't wait to hear your thoughts on this video. See you next time. Bye.